Hi and welcome to The Wheat. In yet another session of The Wheat, we will be discussing about the long-term impact of coronavirus. What will be the socio-economic impact of COVID-19 and is it going to stay with us forever or not? We will be discussing everything in this brainstorming session of The Wheat. Before that, I would like to request you to kindly subscribe to The Wheat and explore the whole world of knowledge. So the new phenomena like lockdown, social distancing, self-isolation, etc. are going to stay with us for a long term, and this is becoming a new normal for all of us. But before that, we must understand what will be its impact into our economy. Will the economy crumble because new GDP figures are coming every day that is showing a downward growth, a downward slope in our GDP, and not only in India's GDP, in overall world's GDP. So what will be the impact? Let's discuss all of this in this edition. We are almost now adjusted to this new normal, but the second wave of COVID-19 is knocking at our doors, and we are seeing almost casual, almost relentless, almost like nothing is happening to us, because the COVID-19 was there for a whole of the year, was in news for a whole of the year. We are sort of fed up with this COVID-19 news. But this new alarming figures that are coming out that the second wave is about to be felt, or somewhere in European land, European continent, the second wave is almost felt. But what we forgot that this past wave has made a disastrous impact in the lives, in our lives. It has snatched away the jobs of fellow Indians, fellow citizens of the entire world. There is a low growth rate. There is companies are struggling to retain the talents, and at the same time, many businesses crumbling. So, what will be the more impacts? Have you ever thought of that? So, we have digested all the news that has figured out in this year. We have adjusted masks and the new lifestyle, but what we forgot that our schools still remains closed. Our GDP forecast is drowning. Job cuts are there, very low vacancies are being advertised, and somewhere there are news that there will be no recruitment in government agencies in coming days. And in many business there is going to be a paradigm shift, like the education industry. No longer people will prefer to come to attend physical classes, hence teachers should adopt online teaching methods, distance way of teaching, etc. So, and there is a huge supply chain disruption being felt, and the world is struggling with Cold War. Many countries standing against this China's aggression in terms of supply chain domination in business, etc. And especially the Chinese domination in the fields of manufacturing is going to end. Countries like USA, India, Japan, Australia are taking a strict position against countries like China. So at the same time, the agriculture production, if you see this, there is a huge impact in agriculture production, as the hospitality industry, this hospitality industry, I mean to say hotel and restaurants remain closed. Tourism has got seriously impacted. For that, there is a reduction in price, commodity price, especially in agriculture related commodity price has come down to 20%, and that is impacting. There is impact in the lives of farmers or people, those who are wholly dependent on agriculture income. So now let's look into the agriculture, the serious challenges in agriculture sector. There are panic buying because of lockdown worries and stockpiling. So this is impacting the normal household of this country. Okay, so in entire world there is also the fight in terms of oil prices. There is a huge uncertainty regarding the oil prices. There is a war between the oil producing nation and nations like Russia, those who dominate the oil price in the entire world. So there is an uncertainty in the market, in global market, related to the petroleum and oil prices. India, which is heavily dependent upon the imports, oil imports, is not getting thoroughly benefited because of this oil cuts, as these rates are very sensitive in these COVID times. The manufacturing industry. Let's come to the manufacturing industry, because we are in this session discussing the worldwide impact and wide scale impacts of COVID-19, how there is a complete disruption in market, how there is a complete disaster in terms of business, in terms of job cuts, etc. So it is also worst hit, manufacturing industry is worst hit due to COVID-19. Why so? Because the phenomena that is called work from home is not going to work in manufacturing industry, and at the same time there is a workforce challenge remains, because this industry, the manufacturing industry, is heavily dependent upon migrant workers, and people are demigrating at the same time. Those who have been migrated to certain places, to certain industrial areas, are now going back to their hometown, and they are now worried to come back again due to strict lockdown measures, and they fear anytime soon these lockdown measures are to come back, or it is going to stay with them. So this industry faces a huge uncertainty in terms of workforce, in terms of production, etc. And as I said, there is in schools, in education industries, the challenge remains. It remains sought for longer period of time. Never ever in the history of our times we have never seen schools being shut down for such a long period of time, and reopening of schools is not visible. We cannot see that it is going to be open in near future, and children adopting online learning, e-learning, is not that much feasible. So the challenge also remains in the industry, in the education industry as well. Okay, so there is going to be a widespread impact of this COVID-19. The uncertainty continues. Every sector more or less is being impacted, but job creation remains challenged, and spending behavior of consumers is going to be the determinant of economy. The economy was already in a slowdown before COVID-19, and post COVID-19 it was a complete disaster, but still we hope that we will rise again, and at the same time this poses a serious challenge to countries, emerging countries like India, those who were over dependent upon other countries in name of globalization, privatization, liberalization, etc. Now the time is to rethink, rebuild a complete self-reliant network, self-reliant supply chain. As the challenge continues, the scopes are also wide open. So this is all in this edition. I hope you like this presentation, and I will come back with much more videos. For that I need all your support. I need all of you to subscribe to the channel. Thank you for being with me. Thank you.